Welcome, everyone, to the Flow Tao Salon. Today, we're talking about a great escape. We're looking at how beauty brands can break free from a hyper-competitive market and find a whole new world of opportunity. And our guide for this journey? It's the 2025 Southeast Asia Beauty Market Opportunity White Paper. This is a really important report put together by China BeautyNet and User Talk based on some deep research they did from late 2024 all the way into mid-2025. What it does is lay out a brand new playbook for brands that are, kind of standing at a crossroads. And this quote right here from the chairman of China BeautyNet really sets the stage. It's a powerful wake-up call, basically saying that sitting on the sidelines is just not an option anymore. It's time for what they're calling a great escape, escaping that intense domestic competition, that feeling of involution where you're working harder and harder for smaller and smaller returns by rolling outwards into fresh territory. So what does this big escape actually look like? Well, first, let's talk about why brands need to escape in the first place. You've got to understand the domestic market in China has become a total pressure cooker. That explosive growth we saw for years, it's really starting to cool off. And that's forcing brands to get creative and look for their next big win somewhere else. And the numbers, well, they don't lie. Just look at this. The compound annual growth rate between 2019 and 2024 was a tiny 2.1% for skincare, and for makeup, it practically flatlined at less than 1%. So the market isn't just slowing down, it's pretty much hitting a wall. Finding that second growth curve isn't just a nice idea anymore, it's become a matter of survival. So if the problem is a home market that's just jam-packed, the white paper points to a really clear solution: Southeast Asia. And they're not just presenting it as another option, no, they're calling it a vibrant blue ocean, just teeming with potential. And the case for this blue ocean is built on some truly staggering numbers. First up, just the sheer scale of it all. We're talking about a population of 670 million people. That's not just a new market, that is a whole new continent of consumers waiting. And get this, it's not just a huge population, it's a digitally savvy one. E-commerce penetration is already past 40%. That means the digital highways, the infrastructure for selling online are already built and busy. These are customers who are online, they're engaged, and they are shopping right now. And finally, the prize. What's it all worth? A total market value projected at a mind-boggling $220 billion just for 2024. So let's be crystal clear. Going after this market isn't a side project. This is a massive, landscape-defining opportunity. Okay, but here's where the white paper offers a really critical warning. You can't just copy and paste your strategy from one market to another. Southeast Asia is a hybrid battlefield, and it's built differently. Assuming your digital-only playbook from China is going to work here is probably the biggest and first mistake you could make. Which brings us to this question. A lot of brands might think, okay, I get it, we'll just go hard on TikTok and Shopee and we'll have it made. But is it really that simple? And the data? It delivers a major plot twist. A whopping 70% of all beauty sales in Southeast Asia are still happening right here, in offline physical stores. Yeah, online is growing, for sure, but the main battlefield, where the real money is being made, is still firmly in the world of brick and mortar. And what's fascinating is how different that offline world is from country to country. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. In the Philippines, department stores are king. But if you head over to Thailand and Malaysia, drugstore chains are where it's at, making up over half of sales. And then in Singapore, duty-free is a huge player. To win here, you have to master a really complex, multi-channel physical retail game. So how in the world have some brands actually pulled this off? Well, the white paper gives us a couple of fantastic blueprints, looking at trailblazers who took totally different but equally smart paths to success. First up, you've got Fan Beauty. They went for the big splash, They used their famous founder, Fan Bingbing, to create a huge launch event. But the really brilliant move was their channel strategy. They partnered exclusively with the drugstore giant Watsons, which gave them instant credibility and shelf space all across Malaysia. And they backed it up with these beautiful in-store displays that just blew up on social media. But all that flash wasn't just smoke and mirrors. As Fan Bingbing herself says right here, it was all built on an extreme pursuit of making an excellent product. The hype got people in the door, but the quality is what made them stay. Now, for a complete contrast, let's look at what Winona did in Thailand. Instead of a huge celebrity launch, they took the path of deep credibility. They built trust from the ground up, positioning themselves as a serious, scientific dermocosmetic brand. And they did it by launching first in medical clinics and working directly with local doctors for endorsements. And this quote just nails their strategy. They understood that when you're a new brand, especially in skincare, borrowing credibility from trusted local professionals, like doctors, is the absolute fastest way to earn a consumer's trust. It's just priceless. So, putting all these stories and all this data together leads us to the report's big conclusion. It boils everything down into three essential, absolutely critical keys to victory for any brand that wants to make it in Southeast Asia. And here it is, the ultimate blueprint. The report is really clear on this. Success isn't about just copying what you did before. It's about these three things. First, you need an all-channel strategy that connects your online buzz with a powerful offline retail game. Second, you have to deeply adapt your products. We're talking formulas for different climates, shades for local skin tones, and even things like halal certification. And third, you have to create value resonance. This means you're competing on trust and cultural connection, not just on who has the lowest price. This is how you build a real, lasting brand. So, the white paper, it lays it all out. The path, the massive opportunities, and the hidden traps. It basically hands brands the map to a treasure chest. The only question left is, are they ready to start the journey?